Hi, it's KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and Steve Shanley is back this week for another preview of the Cedar Rapids Municipal Band. This is week 3.
Week 3, a third of the way through the season. Hard to believe already.
And the days are getting shorter.
They are, yes.
9 seconds, I believe.
Yes.
Yesterday. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is always a fun week for me because it's the week we feature our winner of the Young Artist Competition. And that was something I started back in 2011, where we had a competition similar to what the symphony orchestras use to feature, which often in their case is college students. But I thought we have so many great band programs in the area, high school band programs. Let's figure out a way to get some of the top students experience playing as a soloist with a whole band instead of maybe just a piano player. So our winner this year is percussionist from Linn-Mar, just graduated, Arjun Palaniappan. And we know Arjun. I've known Arjun for a long time. He's a very fine drum set player, so had the opportunity to work with him in various honor groups over the year, and just a wonderful kid. And he takes lessons from Tom Mackey, who plays timpani in the municipal band. And Tom found a very, very cool piece that I think you'll like, Dennis, that a woman named Andrea Vennett at the University of North Florida wrote. She calls it Kaibo, and it was written to feature her on snare drum and then had a mallet quartet accompanying her, 2 marimbas, 2 vibraphones. And harmonically, and just loosely enough melodically to not break copyright law, it is based on Africa by Toto.
Okay.
Yeah, and so for those of us who remember that, you'll hear it. You can hear it right away. But then on top of all of that, there's just this amazing snare work from Arjun all the way through. And I got to admit, so when he came in to play his audition this spring, I wasn't on the judging panel, but I was in the room, and there were 10 band directors, and everyone's like, okay, are we really going to have a snare drum soloist win this competition? And everyone is thinking, well, of course not. No one wants to listen to a snare drum solo, but you want to listen to this one. It was unanimous. They loved it, and it's really cool. So I got permission from Andrea to arrange that for the band to play. And it's going to be a good time. So if you've never seen a snare drum solo before, you're going to want to see this one, and especially if you remember Africa from Toto, you'll dig it.
What else is on the program?
Good jazz medley this week. It's called Legends of Jazz, and it features a little bit later. Oftentimes the medleys that we play are from the big band era, and you get your old school Count Basie and Glenn Miller, Tommy Dorsey, those sorts of things. But this week we've got Miles Davis, Boplicity, which you're probably not going to hear a concert band play very often. Beautiful in the middle arrangement of Round Midnight by Thelonious Monk. And as I joked with the band as we read through it on Monday, I said I was very glad that the arranger did not use the incorrect real book changes for Round Midnight. So it's very, very nice, very tasty. And then it concludes with In a Mellow Tone by Duke Ellington, which jazz fans will know, but maybe the non-jazz aficionados, one of the lesser-known Ellington pieces. So a really well-crafted medley, very cool there. So I think our listeners are going to enjoy that. And also jazz-inspired work from Shostakovich, of all people. He wrote what he called was a jazz suite. And there's a waltz that became kind of famous a few years ago, was used in some commercials, and then most importantly to me in the greatest holiday film of all time, Bad Santa. So one of those pieces that now you might think, waltz from Shostakovich, Jazz Suite Number 2, I'm sure I don't know it. And then you hear it and you're like, oh yeah, I know that one. It's got nice solo work from Bruce Western on the saxophone and Robert Parker on the trombone. We got Moana for the kids, nice medley of Moana music, and that was one Val and I, as we were driving home, like, yeah, the last time we played this, we thought, this is great music, we need to see this movie. So one of the many movies with great music that I have not yet seen, so on our list of things to see, but great music there as well.
Thinking about Shostakovich and writing a jazz suite, that couldn't have been too popular with the Communist Party at the time that he was composing.
Yeah, he did a really admirable job of of kind of trying to walk that fine line of not making the government too upset. And I'm not sure what this particular piece in music nerd realm has a little bit of a controversy behind it, because for a long time, I think it was called Jazz Suite, and then in recent years, some people have discovered some manuscripts that said, well, it really wasn't Jazz Suite, it was called something else, and it got different names over the years, and it's so difficult to tell with all of that music when it was actually composed versus published and who it was originally written for, even for something within the last 100 years like that, when we're talking pre-computers and especially the foreign copyright and all of that sort of thing. So yeah, it changes. I'm not sure exactly what I'll refer to it as at the concert, because it always gets a little bit of a different name depending on which historian you ask.
I suspect at the time of publication, the copy that was registered with the Communist Party Copyright Office perhaps did not include the word jazz. American jazz.
But yeah, the whole thing is cool. He did some music. This isn't this particular movement doesn't have T for two in it, but he at the time, much like many other so-called classical composers, was very influenced by the harmonic and melodic and rhythmic language of American jazz and found ways to incorporate it. In this case, it says it's from Jazz Suite, but really it just sounds like a really cool Johann Strauss waltz to me.
Municipal Band in concert Wednesday and Saturday, and the Wednesday show will be the first time at Knowledge Park for this season.
Yep, Knowledge Park at 7:30 on Wednesday the 22nd, so not a super long journey for you to come over if you're so inclined. And then on Sunday the 26th, we're at Beaver Park at 7:30, and very much want to encourage your listeners to come out at 6:15 for a prelude concert from the New Horizons Band. That group is under the direction of our principal percussionist, Alan Lawrence. And it's such a cool concert that we're fortunate to have a wonderful New Horizons band in this community. Alan told our members, the band members, on Monday that the median age of his band member, I think, is 72. So it's really cool to see all of them up there making music, and they sound good. It's not like you're going to have to show up and say, oh, that's really sweet of them to try. Like, they sound really good. There's some good musicians in there. Alan does a great job programming and preparing. So show up at 6:15. I think we're going to have pretty good weather, and cheer on the New Horizons band.
Well, that's our broad goal here at KCCK, and I know it's your goal as well, that people continue to be involved with and play music for their whole life, that you don't put your instrument away when you graduate from high school or college.
And that is a great thing that we have here in the Cedar Rapids, Marion area. David Law's band, the Marion Community Band, that allows musicians of all ages and ability levels to play jazz and concert music, and then Alan's opportunities for our seniors to
and the municipal band, he does pretty well too.
We do pretty well too. Yes, I'm pleased to say. So yeah, find us at crmuniband.org. We're also on Facebook and Twitter, and hope to see some families at the concert here this week.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
You can hear the Culture Crawl live on the radio many weekdays at 10:20, or download the podcast, watch or listen on your own schedule at kcck.org/culture, or however you get your podcasts. I'm Dennis Green, and I'll talk to you later.